Ushiro Goshi. This is going to be the judo version of Ushiro Goshi that is on our new advanced nage list for 2021. This is different than the Ushiro Goshi that we practice on the traditional Okazaki list. It's also different than the version of Ushiro Goshi that we've traditionally practiced on our basic nage list. This is going to be the judo version, and it starts from me being behind someone. I can get there in several different ways. The most common way is I'm, doing randori with someone and they turn their back to me to throw. If they're doing seminage, sotomomobarai, uchimata, whatever, any kind of throw where they have to turn around, turn their back to me to throw me forward over them. And once they've got their back to me, I'm gonna give them a big hug and squat. A few reasons for the squatting motion. One is part of my defense. Even if I get that bear hug, if I'm standing up too high or they get their hips underneath me, they're still going to get that throw off. Maybe I hold on to them, they throw me, I land, and I'm holding them on top of me. It's an ippon, it won't really matter. Maybe it's a self-defense situation. At least I've got a hold of them. I can try to roll them over or something at the end. But I took that fall. I want to avoid taking that fall, so I need to get squat nice and low to make it hard for them to pick me up. So it's going to set up my position. This is a hip throw, and like any other hip throw, I need to get my hips below theirs to be in the right position. I also want to squat. This is going to allow my legs to create the throw. That explosive standing up motion is going to help me with the throw. I don't want to use my back at all. It's all going to come from my legs. So I'm also not just going to stand straight up because there's still going to be a lot of pressure on my lower back, especially if there's a lot of weight holding in front of me. So instead of standing straight up, I'm going to arch my back and then stand. This is a good way to practice before you put any weight. The squatting, arching, and standing up. Now, often when you do this, because there's so much weight in front of you, it will look like you're standing straight up because the counterbalance of the weight in front and me arching my back makes me look like I'm standing straight up, but it's going to take the pressure off my lower back. If I just try to stand straight up, I'm actually going to pinch forward, and there's going to be a lot of weight here. All right, I've wrapped the knee around a pillow just for demonstrative purposes. If you want to practice this, I recommend using something a little heavier, maybe a duffel bag full of clothes or a heavy bag, so you get a sense of the weight. Behind them, bear hug, arms locked in, or however you can. If I can get my hands in, grab the gi, whatever you can. Ideally, I like to get my hands together in a nice bear hug. My hips are below theirs. See my belt below their belt. Big explosive motion, arching my back. Even with a person who weighs more than I do, but if they're relaxed and they're coming with me, I lift them up. I can let go of the arms and just let them rest on top of me. Shouldn't really feel much pressure on my lower back. My legs are carrying all that weight. To finish the throw, I'm just going to step back out of the way and let them fall. Arch and fall. Judo, that's an ippon. They landed flat on their back. This may look similar to Suigetsukan, the way we set it up. People go in for seminage. I use the Okazaki version of Ushiro Goshi to drop them and then drop on top of them. You can do the same setup here. And they turn around, grab, pop, drop, falling on top of them, set up your Suigetsukan. Now, the nice thing about this is it also sets up a couple of other judo throws. The judo version of Ushiro Goshi and nage. Once I'm here, I have a couple of options. I can either just drop them like I did before, or I can turn my hips and throw it with Ushiro Goshi. I can also just lift and keep arching until I drop all the way over. Arch and drop. Nage. So Ushiro Goshi is nice because it's a basis for setting up other different throws as well. Good luck practicing Ushiro Goshi at